host of HoNcast.com. Welcome back, even, on what is our second series of the day. And you know what time it is. With that said, we have dnL Esports taking on Too Much Sugar here with the winner bracket semifinals. Here we are, the winner bracket semifinals. These two teams matching up now. Maybe a little bit of a surprise to an extent. I mean, these two teams, both of them had very, very tough opponents in the previous round. Actually, let's take a quick look at the brackets here real quickly. As you see, we had dnL Esports. Of course, we covered the later part of that series. They took out Stay Green 2-1 in that series. Moving on here, Too Much Sugar defeating Internet Gangsters 2-0, leading them to this point. So that's how we have this match. Of course, the other winner bracket semifinals, we got Lions versus Reason Gaming, and even then IG versus Stay Green, as you see down here. They're playing in the losers bracket. One of those two teams is going to be done after the first weekend. That is just crazy to think about. That is actually being covered over there on Colecast, I believe. But with that said, we got our match to worry about, and I am excited. I'm sure you can tell. I'm sure you guys are excited. You know, it really doesn't get much better than this with Heroes New with matchups. This is a great one that we have coming at us, and so really looking forward to having a lot of fun here. With this best out of three. So this is moving along again quickly, though. I want to actually excuse me there. I want to touch on one other thing. I'm looking at this here because actually Reason Gaming and Lion Esports Club was a late notice, but apparently they actually started a little bit earlier for whatever reason. So they've actually already played their first game, and it looks like they're actually setting up for their second game. Let me see if I can get some information on that, perhaps. It looks like Lion Esports Club won the first game. 52-minute game, though. Moon Queen, not enough for Reason Gaming, but so it looks like, and I'm guessing that was the only game. Yeah, so they're in game number 2, it looks like. But again, so game 1 going to Lion Esports Club. So that's a quick update for you guys as far as what's happening over there. But enough about that. We got this matchup to worry about. Too Much Sugar versus dnL Esports. Looking forward to dnL Esports, of course, not only looking to just move along here in the winner bracket of Cycle 7, that would be something, but they're also planning to play tomorrow, starting tomorrow, of course, in the Nordic qualifiers, trying to qualify for DreamHack Winter 2013, and you got to think that this team, out of all the teams that is playing in that, is arguably the favorite, if not definitely one of the top 3 favorite teams. So they definitely got to make it through the tournament, but most certainly expected to come out as a top 3 team in that event at least, and go into DreamHack Winter 2013. So that's another great thing about the Cycle 7 here for HoN Tour. It really is kind of playing as a warm-up tournament here going into DreamHack. So just something else to think about when it comes down to it. But anyways, we are moving along here. Let's take a closer look and see what the hell is going on. The initial bans, it was Scout, Keeper of the Forest. I want to say it was Warbeast as well, and then the other ban, let me just look at it real quickly here. Of course, the other ban's already happening. Unfortunately, I had to clear the chat, so it looks like it was, what was it? It was Keeper of the Forest. We got that. Keeper of the Forest, Scout, Warbeast, and Slither? It was Slither. Okay, Slither was actually one of the bands as well. Interesting. One of the initial bands, even. As far as the picks are concerned, went Engineer to Kraken, Ravener, Master of Arms, Ophelia into Pestilence. The next year band, Sandwraith, Wild Soul, Torture, Hag, Parasite, Corrupted. Final couple of picks coming out here. Bubbles, and then into Tempest actually left open that whole time. So dnL Esports managing to get the Tempest pick up as their jungle situation goes. Even after the second tier of bans. Interesting that tmsR ultimately left that open. But either figuring that dnL wouldn't go for it or pretty confident they can handle it, I guess. But they're now looking to pick up their final pick, and that catches us up pretty much in terms of where things stand. But looking at the lineup so far, nothing crazy by any means. tmsR, they have a strong making. Probably going to be looking for the short lane here. Whoever Haxorn's going to end up playing on the board. Sandwraith is banned, right? Yeah, Sandwraith banned. You do see some possible heroes that could have been picked up there. The Corrupted Disciple on top of that. So Sandwraith was actually banned by Haxorn himself. Speaking of that, we talked about it yesterday, but Haxorn, of course, the new captain for tmsR. Again, I don't know if this is actually going to be more of a permanent change even going into the DreamHack event, or if it's just simply maybe them trying it out. I'm not exactly sure what the details are there, but he was asked to take over the captain role, or to take over the captain role for the HoN Tour system going into yesterday's beginning matches, of course. And hey, here they are in the winner bracket semifinals, defeating both Team Excellent and Internet Gangsters to get here. So not an easy road at all to get to this point. by any means. But Soul Reaper is going to be their final pick. I was going to say Engineer final pick. Holy crap. No, they go with Soul Reaper as their final pick, though. So, interesting. You know, you do look at the lineup. They do have the Ophelia, so they do got some great team presence, a lot of turnaround potential as far as the heals are concerned. And it seems like that's the route they are going to look to go for with that Soul Reaper pickup as the final pick. So not necessarily your right-click hard carry by any means, but more the group up and looking to play aggressive earlier on. Soul Stealer, the final pick for dnL Esports, on the other hand. And that is a lot of team synergy over there. You know, obviously we just casted the previous series from the losers bracket. Happened to be Team Excellent versus Devin. Team Excellent ran a very, very team fight, very wombo combo style of lineup. That's kind of reminding me right here of what dnL is doing to an extent. I mean, it's not as crazy, but they got a Holy Trinity. They got Kraken, Tempest, Soul Stealer. But then on top of that, they also have Master of Arms, Pestilence, Soul Stealer. And the reason why I said Andromeda, actually, is because, you know, way back in the day when Soul Stealer was a very, very prime carry hero choice for a lot of teams, this had to be 2-3 years ago even. As I called it, the Holy Trinity was actually Soul Stealer, Andromeda, Pestilence. That combo, especially before when Conqueror actually was vulnerable to minus armor, that trio of heroes was ridiculous in terms of, and we saw quite a bit, and just both for killing Conqueror, for winning team fights, for just taking people down, it's pretty immense. But Master of Arms is kind of that different kind of style of Andromeda style here. Of course, he still provides some minus armor, but arguably some more utility on top of that. When it comes down to it. But they kind of got that working. And again, they also got some crazy teamfight synergy when it comes down to their ultimates, Tempest, Kraken, and Soul Stealer specifically. So I'm loving dnL Esports lineup, really am, in terms of what they drafted. And another benefit of Soul Stealer, of course, he's great for anti-pushing, and no doubt too much sugar. They're going to be looking to group up and do some pushing quite a bit. So it's going to be a fun matchup we got here. Again, we know just with the two teams coming at us, but obviously these two, or the drafts that ultimately came out from it as well. Excited, man. Here we are. Game number 1, Too Much Sugar versus dnL Esports. Man, oh man, I know a lot of people, including myself, expected this to maybe be a tmsR versus Stay Green matchup. Nope, not so. dnL Esports was not ready to let that happen. You know, I was talking about that yesterday in that matchup. Stay Green, before that loss yesterday to dnL, they had only 5 series losses in total so far in Season 2 of HoN Tour. Only one of them did they actually lose it 1-2, 1 game to 2, where they. The point being, whenever they win a game in a series, they usually come out on top. Yesterday, that was not the case. dnL Esports, they gave up the second game, but they came back in the third game and eventually won that series, of course. So now, obviously, Stay Green is in the losers bracket, but again, they're matched up against Internet Gangsters, and it's going to be a run for them to get all the way to the grand finals to make it back to that point. They've never fished anything lower than second place throughout the first 6 cycles, but it's setting up to be maybe that could change here this cycle. But again, there's still plenty of cycle left. Enough about all that, though. Here we are into the laning phase, so let's take a look and see what's going on. And right off the bat, you notice Too Much Sugar. They like to do this, running the aggressive pseudo tri-lane, and look at that, he picks off the Wolf Commander. As actually Master of Arms being played by support. He was doing the whole pull thing, but Ophelia did not let him do it with ease. And actually is going to bring the creep wave all the way over here to behind the Ravener Engineer. But yeah, very aggressive start here coming out from Too Much Sugar. Locking down the Soul Stealer, obviously Master of Arms. He's trying to make his presence felt. They do have Tempest as well. But this is not a defensive pseudo tri-lane that you expect a whole lot to happen for in terms of dnL Esports. So I'm actually a little bit curious about that as to why they even bother having Master of Arms up here. I mean, he is doing the pole camp and actually, you know, getting a little bit of a better experience for Soul Stealer as a result of that. But if he was in this middle lane, you know, you'd figure he'd be able to box out Bubbles pretty well and being able to get some nice, really nice farm onto Pestilence. Now, with that said, Pestilence is doing decent, but Bubbles is 9-0 as well, and it seems like KZU's taking advantage of the matchup, of course, and playing extra aggressive. So we'll see if this works out for dnL Esports. But Master of Arms, he's actually being a little sneaky right here. He's going to go ahead and throw some goo down. Oh, he's blocking the camp. Look at that. Look at the heads-up play for support right there. Blocking the camp from spawning so Ophelia could not take over a creep right there. Very well played, nor could he farm it for that matter. So, just, again, some small things, man, that definitely add up as the game picks up. So, kind of a well played right there by support. Of course, he's the newest addition to dnL Esports. Obviously, VN Sensation once again, the former captain of the team even. He's actually going to Thailand, apparently, to join forces with Nova Emperor and Nox over there and play for Impunity Storm. So Zlap stepped up as the new captain, and, well, it allowed them to also pick up support. Arguably one of the better support players out there. Hell, he has a name for it, so why not, right? No, great player, and I know also a fan favorite for a lot of people. So excited to see how he progresses with the team as well, and eventually even hopefully see him at DreamHack even. So we'll see. We'll see how that goes. Top lane, though, Soulstealer actually in a lot of trouble right here. In comes the Skull Net. There's their combo from Engineer. The nuke's coming out. Soulstealer in a lot of trouble. Can he actually get away from this so slow? It's just too damn much. Tankafet getting credit for the kill right there. Oh, Soulstealer. He's blind going into his own jungle right here. I mean, it's easy to sit here and say as an observer that, he shouldn't have been there in the first place, but at the same time, it's obviously a very vulnerable situation that he is. Soulstealer in general is just a very vulnerable hero. And, well, we saw the end result right there. Too Much Sugar catches him as he's kind of peeking in there, looking to maybe stack, get some jungle creeps, and ends up costing him his life. So Bloodlust kill coming out for Too Much Sugar. Excellent, excellent start for them at that top lane. Bottom lane, I'm sure Soul Reaper's having a good time. Excuse me. Haxer 19-3 compared to the Kraken, who's 15-0, and actually putting some good damage right there onto him. But and that's the thing about Soul Reaper too. We talk so much, especially in a melee 1v1 melee versus Soul Reaper matchup. Maybe you used to seeing at least a 1 point into Withering Presence, but ever since they changed that in Human Nature, it seems like that pretty much is the go-to no matter what. Top lane, obviously, while I'm talking there, Zlap's getting picked off. They dive in big time, but that's the power of this trio of heroes that they have here at the top side. The Ophelia, Engineer, Ravener, they are able to dive you, and once again, they show right there. So good kill coming on to Tempest as Zlap was just simply trying to hide. Soulstealer, in the meantime, he's actually finding himself in the Legion jungle. Go figure. Soulstealer being played by Flensmeister, finding himself in the Legion jungle. And he's going to try to set something out maybe in the middle lane, but I just don't see this working. I mean, this is a bubble. Okay, just Shell Surfed right there. What better time than now, right? Pestilence actually just uses Impale, but now he's going to pop the regen room. And by the time they go, though, he's going to have a Shell Surf back up. He also does have a point to take cover. They're going to try for it right here. The Impale Stun comes out, and comes Soulstealer, DM in hands. He's going to Shell Surf, take cover, and he will be fine. So, yeah, it really is just the Soulstealer and a Pestilence right here this earlier on. Not really expecting a game to be successful, honestly, especially against the likes of Bubbles. But they do get Bubbles to fall back. Pestilence going to get some free farm. And again, Soulstealer, Flensmeister seems like he's not having a whole lot he's able to do so far early on in this game. So, with that said, he runs into Soul Reaper, actually. And he's going to be fine as he falls back, but finds an enemy right there. Master Vomb's coming over to maybe cut him off, but no. Soul Reaper's level 6. He has his boots early on. He's going to be more than fine. Of course, Flensmeister, former Lions player, it seems like he's found a nice new home here in dnL Esports, and he, of course, is coming off a big day yesterday. Big reason why they defeated State Green, especially in that third game, playing the Samurai. Talk about one of the better jukes we've ever seen, man. I mean, his Samurai juke was just insane. I know there's some forum posts on it. It was a lot of fun to watch, and I definitely suggest not only checking back on that game specifically, but the whole series, and I believe even people have made some highlight clips of it. The getaway was just absolutely crazy. But just as a team, dnL Esports played very, very well yesterday, deservingly so to be here, of course. Top tower going to already go down, though, in favor of Too Much Sugar. You do see the gold swing actually well in favor now of our Legion team, nearly a 3,500 lead after that tower kill. So this decision here to go the Soulstealer pick dnL Esports, it seems like it's kind of backfiring a bit. tmsR, they are known for running that aggressive pseudo trial lane from time to time. They did it here. They took advantage of the matchup, and dnL just seems like they were not ready for it in the laning phase. So it is showing here early on, and it'll be a matter of they're able to recover from that. We'll say also Slicks has been playing a lot of Ravener lately. This seems like his new go-to hero, and he has been playing it fantastic. Middle lane, there's a little bit of initiation. Bubbles, the ultimate coming up from Tempest, and he will be killed right there. As meanwhile, at the bottom lane, they also take out Moomiander, playing the Engineer. So a couple of kills happening right there for dnL Esports all of a sudden. And just like that, at least some nice momentum picked up for them. Looks like Release the Kraken was used down here at the bottom lane. So a couple of good catches coming out for our Hellborn team. Well played on their part. Yeah, so they're going to start to fall back for now. But yeah, going back to Slicks, you know, again, he's been playing this Ravener, plays it very well, likes to go that Insanitarius, or he went to Insanitarius at least a couple times from what I recall. We'll see what he goes for this game. Maybe it just depends on how the game's going. Oh, he's going to jump so to the rear. The damage is just so freaking much. And you see Flensmeister, nothing he can do. He's a Soul Stealer, for Christ's sake. Level 4 on top of that. You know, literally nothing he can do but just try to run. He tried to maybe get back into Tempest right there range to have him assist, but obviously that wasn't going to happen. Pestilence in the meantime, Kelpha coming out. He finally throws out the Impel, the fly away, and he will be fine. Well played right there by Pro Busk. If he took the stun from the Kelpha, though, he was probably dead, so he needed to be careful, making sure not to take that. And he does get away, so making them use some cooldowns and some resources to not get a kill out of it, but yes, Soul Stealer just having a very, very difficult time. 0-2-0, only 100 gold per minute right here in his favor, for him for that matter, and it is definitely showing. So now Ravener going to start moving around. Obviously the top lane pushed up, no reason to keep him up there. Move things around, maybe head towards bottom and get this Kraken or even the Master of Arms especially. Take advantage of what's going on down here. Master of Arms falling back though, so not going to be able to get to him, but Kraken still kind of pushed up. Mickey wants to, you know, continue to farm. He is going to go for that. And now that they see him down here, I wonder if they're going to look to try to make a move here on the Legion side. You see Ravener heading down there now. Engineer coming over. This Ward of Sight probably spotted him. They will get a Ward of Sight off into the jungle themselves. But yeah, enough information for Kraken and Master of Arms to not really feel too comfortable. And they're going to decide to fall back for now. So Pestilence in the meantime. You see his farm and how it's picking up. They need Probust to have a great time, especially with the Soul Stealer struggles. They need that initiation factor, the Portkey presence. He's having a solid time, 300 gold per minute. Him, Tempest, and Kraken are all having pretty solid times, actually. You know, nothing. So despite Soul Stealer being locked down, at least they're benefiting from his unfortunate circumstance, you can say. Kraken once again going to fall back before any catches happen onto him. Soul Raper also, though, farming very well. 335 gold per minute and counting. And he's pushing in this bottom lane now. He has his Demonic Execution ready to go. He finds the opportunity for that. Obviously, they got the top tower. Going to start working on the bottom tower now. All four are here. Ophelia joining in. Bubble's going to make his way down there, it looks like. And actually, they're going to jump right here. The initiation from Ravener. Kraken, it cannot even Tsunami charge in time. The lockdown was just too much. Double damage. Ravener didn't help. And that ends up being an easy tower kill on top of that. So yeah, this is a lot of gotcha potential team. Engineer and Ravener especially. You got to feel they shouldn't even have a Skeleton King there, but not needed. Bubbles on top of that. So yeah, trying to stick in it to deny a tower. Very risky move by Mickey. And obviously it backfires on him. So he goes down, tower kill falls. This is going to be another tower kill easily. As Engineer actually finds Master of Arms. Oh my god, some good damage coming out, but no, he's not going to be able to chase right there, and he will be fine. But back-to-back tower kills, and tmsR once again taking a pretty hefty gold lead. 5,300 gold lead here in their favor. And they're also going to steal the double-stack Ancient. So the movement here from Too Much Sugar, pretty damn good right now. Now, it is buying some time at least for Soul Stealer to finally recover somewhat here. At the top side, he does have 30 souls saved up. That's the max at this point. Once he puts the extra level, he'll be able to go up to 40, of course, but going to finish off this next creep wave real quickly. So he's jumped over the 200 gold per minute mark at least. And again, Soul Stealer is most certainly one of the better heroes in the game in terms of recovering and farm. So they will have that factor coming into play. But Pestilence, he's got his build up now. Now the Portal Key is going to be next in line, you would think. Mickey working off that death, so we'll slow him down as well. And I kind of wonder if he's just going to go into the Helm of the Black Legion still, or if they want him to also try to maybe get a Portal Key here to start some initiating presence. But we'll see where that comes from. Slapped on Tempest, also same thing for him. What kind of build should we expect to see out of him this game is also curious. You know, Shrunken Head can be stopped, obviously, both the Skeleton King and the Demonic Execution. So, unless I'm wrong on that. I believe I'm right on that. Am I wrong on that? Demonic Execution being able to stop a Shrunken Head Tempest. I believe the stun is still superior, if I'm not mistaken. I always kind of get is it the damage or the stun that's not superior? I want to say it's the stun that is superior. So I believe you should be able to stop it. Anyways, they at least have one way, if not two ways. But still, again, that's never a reason to not get it by any means. But what did I just see picked up? Lightbrand. Speaking of Sword Reaper, yeah, he gets a Lightbrand purchase actually. So Haxrin is going to be going for that Grimoire build. So not going to be going for utility, you know, push earlier on. You know, I was going to say maybe Astrolabe, but obviously they already have that on Ophelia, so this definitely makes sense where he's coming from. And also wants to be a bit of a carry presence for his team. And yeah, eventually the Grimoire power really, really strong on Soul Reaper, just being able to spam those heals, extra damage coming out of them. He's already a great farmer and creep wave with the heal spam, but now with the Grimoire on top of that, once he eventually gets it, obviously extra effective. So going to be a very solid pickup for him. They're pushing the middle lane. Soulstealer buying an Energizer right there. He's going to have it delivered. Kraken off to the side. Torrent in. Release the Kraken out of Soul Reaper. In comes the Astrolabe, though. The heal's on top of that. There's the Ophelia's touch. Keeping him alive. Not long enough, though. He will finally fall, but the Kraken goes down. Kelvin in the background. Soul Burst going off right there. He only had 30 souls, not 40, but still some decent damage. As here comes Pestilence once again. And Pilstein going out. He's pointing something back. The Tempest now it's canceled immediately by the Kexon from Engineer. The Soul, or the Ultimate coming out as well. On top of that with the Energy Field. They're trying to save one another. Ophelia did get picked off. And that will be the end of that. So Flensmeister does get a double tap there with the final kill onto Ophelia. The Kegstone was beautiful. It wasn't for the Kegstone, that could have been a lot worse for Too Much Sugar. But still, in the end, you do have a case of dnL Esports coming out on top of that fight. The tower wasn't killed by... It was killed by the Legion team, right? Yeah, it was killed by... Too Much Sugar right there. So with that tower kill at least, that kind of, you know, makes it a little more even as far as the overall outcome of that fight. But the hero kill wise, obviously dnL Esports coming out on top right there as far as that exchange is concerned. So Pestilence in the meantime, yeah, Swarm doesn't pull. Just swarming out the Predator though. They're going to pull it right here. Get a double stack going on. But yeah, Soul Reaper going the light brand. Obviously expect that next to be right into the Grimoire power. Soul Stealer, talk about recovering and farming hell. This is a Soul Stealer that was struggling, you know, was barely over 100 gold per minute, and now all of a sudden he's 310 GPM. Again, just goes back to this hero knows how to recover and farm. With the demon hands, adding up the souls, and hell, having a fight like he did right there, that's even more reason why he's able to recover ever so well. So he's got Steam Boots, he's got an Energizer. Let's see where he goes from here. I think the Shrunken Head is probably the route he'll end up going. Portakey may be a little too greedy. Could go the Farm style, could go more of the Firebrand into Geometer's Bane even. That wouldn't be out of the question, but I think with how aggressive you're probably expecting tmsR to be playing here, probably want to be the Shrunken Head pickup onto him, and especially against an Engineer on top of that. There's just so many reasons why Shrunken Head will just be good this game. So yeah, probably expect to see a Shrunken Head on a Flensmeister here. Playing the Soul Stealer. Tablet of Command just picked up by Bubbles, I believe it was, so he's not going the Portal Key route. Going the Tablet route here. EU Bubbles build. Picked up by Keizu. Multiple reasons for that. One biggest one perhaps being Kraken, of course, but also an extra way to help teammates that get caught in Elemental Void and even stop Tempest for that matter. Until he gets the Shrunken Head at least. Here comes the middle push, though, from tmsR. Swarm's currently on Keizu, or not Keizu, but Haxorin. Not too worried, though. Holy crap, minus 12 armor. He's at minus 7.4 armor here. He was minus 11 when he was in the goo. I mean, that just shows you, man, the synergy of these heroes. And that's without the aura from Soul Stealer. Once that gets maxed out eventually, and big jump there from Pestilence. Will they have the follow-up? Not really. Tablet of Command going to be used, pushing them back, release Kraken, pulling them in a little bit, not really going to stun, but they are going to be pulled in, trying to get them back down. Sorry for holding his ground. Kraken being turned on now. Kraken's in a lot of trouble. Isanami charges away. All the demons of Master Skull barely getting away. Beautiful to Pilsen once again from Probusk, but the follow-up is just not really there the most. How is nobody dead just yet? Holy crap. Nobody died through this fight just yet. Ophelia in the front lines. He's going to fall back, support just too much. Tempest demonic execution, trying to finish him off the minions. Yes, finally a kill happening. This in dnL's favor, but once again, Pestilence, a big impulse on the hits 3 heroes. They get the kill on Ophelia right there. Bubbles porting away. So in the end, a 1-for-1 exchange between the two teams, but that really goes to show you, I mean, the lasting potential, especially with this Legion side. But Ravener wants more. Ravener goes back in, but look at that freaking damage! The minus armor once again. Ravener was not ready for that. The Swarm came up. The auto attacks from Soul Stealer especially were so strong right there. The Tablet, he couldn't get over the ledge. Sorper's in trouble. Gorproc couldn't come out. Will it matter? Oh, he gets pushed forward. He can't chase him down, though. He's going to go for it. He wants it. He has a flight. One more auto attack. He's going to get it. Down goes Soul Reaper. The chase from dnL Esports, too strong right there. They underestimated the minus armor big time. Ravener thought they had a turnaround chance to picked them off. He jumped in. The swarm went up. Minus 12 armor just like that. You see he's at 6.2, so obviously he was well in the negatives. That was the R on top of that. I don't even think the goo was down. But wow, he just got melted with auto attacks this early on. Imagine later on in the game. I mean, so yeah, dnL Esports definitely coming out on top of that fight when it's all said and done. And they're actually looking at a 6,900 gold lead here. And the gold is getting very close to not being too much of a difference, just under 1,000 lead for the Legion team. 2,100 gold now saved up on Soul Stealer. So again, still curious, where will he go with this build? Maybe after that fight, he could feel a little more comfortable, perhaps going to be going for a Firebrand. No. He wants the helmet, or not the helmet, the Shrunken Head still. Well, granted, it wouldn't be out of the question to get a Mighty Blade for survivability and then build a Firebrand, but I still think, yeah, the full Shrunken Head just makes too much sense here. So we'll probably see that. Obviously, talk about Probus, too. Probus can MVP that fight, in my opinion. I mean, 3 different times, I believe it was. He jumped in for impels, at least hitting 3, if not 4 heroes. I mean, that's what you want out of your Pestilence. To get, obviously, jumps like that, to hit 3 to 4 heroes, it's just, you're asking for 2, you know, just at the very least. The fact that he's getting 3 to 4, each one of those is pretty damn big. So no doubt a big factor in that last fight. And tmsR realizing that they may have overstepped the boundaries a little bit, and the Grimoire is coming along on Soul Reaper. But this does go back to his style of build, too. If they were going to be going for more of a push-style strategy, more, you know, trying to get the issue, or trying to force the issue that we want to push your towers team fight, then you could definitely argue going for more of that, say, tablet route into even something like eventually a Sheepstick, or even straight Sheepstick wouldn't be out of the question. But going the more the farming style with the Grimoire build here on the Soul Reaper. And now you have a Soul Stealer who is... well, that was experience. Soul Stealer is actually up there with the Soul Reaper at 370 gold per minute. Soul Reaper is leading the way overall, though, 400 GPM, and that is without the Grimoire, so expect that to definitely start skyrocketing. To an extent, at least. His team doing Ancients in the meantime. He's going to come over here and probably finish these off, and ideally get his Grimoire with killing these off, and that's probably going to be just short, but still, it is coming along very, very quickly now, so... should have that in the very near future. But yeah, that also goes back, speaking of the minus armor, if you're the Legion team over here, we talk about Mystic Vestments all the time and how you just need those in most cases help. Mystic Vestments still good against the Soulborn team, but yeah, just even getting something like a Chainmail. I mean, it's armor's needed, to say the least. So Soul's Bulwark alone is definitely needed here on the Legion team, and I think you could safely argue keeping a defensive Soul's Bulwark is necessary here. I don't know who the candidate is. I mean, either Ophelia or even Ravener, I would think. But and then there's even the point too where Plated Greaves. I mean, do they even have a Ring of the Teacher? They don't. That's a concern. That is a concern here for the Legion team. Ring of the Teacher at the very least. Plated Greaves, or at least a Sackstone. I mean, Soul Reaper getting a Sackstone would be very beneficial here. Definitely something to think about if you're too much sugar. And if it wasn't an eye opener that last fight as to why you need it, I mean, I don't know what will be, but that's I'm going to keep an eye on that to see how that progresses. But yeah, honestly, there's no excuse not to have a Ring of the Teacher at least. That should definitely be something that they should think about getting ASAP here for the Legion side. Grimoire power is finished though on Soul Reaper. And again, I think the Sackstone next at the very for him would make sense here. Just might as well upgrade that Grave Locket. Okay, well there's a Sackstone for Bubbles actually, so they will have one here. So that's fine. That's good for him to have. Major Totem on Tankafed, so probably going to be going for a Tablet himself. And again, that is a good item to have against the likes of Kraken and Tempest and whatnot. Full Shrunken Head purchase there by Soul Stealer. So he does get the Shrunken Head out of the way. Now he has that to use. Middle lane, though, once again, too much sugar. They're going to come back to it. Ravener tries to jump up Robust, gets a little too quick. He reacts in time. Going to be fine. Master of Arms to the side. He has the goo ready to go. We'll probably end up throwing it down here, I'm sure. Yeah, he's going to switch right here. Acid Bomb, as it's called. Soul Stealer charging in. There's an Impel set on the Ravener. Only the one target. Talbot 4. Soul Stealer still going in. Soulbur's going to go over there. Hits multiple heroes. The Legion team, though, resetting. But off to the side. Soulbur's by himself. Haxorin gets caught by himself. Oh, no. The Legion team, they were not ready for that. Engineer gets caught as well. Energy field is up. Ravener, will he jump in? Yes, he will. He's going balls to the wall. They need to fight this. Pestilence falling. The tap is all about. Oh! Holy crap, the Tempest Ultimate, they're going to get all caught. A genocide for dnL Esports. GG, well played. dnL Esports will take game number 1 just like that. What just happened? Wow. I don't even know. See, I don't even know if they should be conceding, honestly. I think that's one of those, we're frustrated, we're conceding game number 1. I do not think you give up right there. I don't know about that. I don't know about that, but still, that picking off Haxred, I don't know if he got talented forward or something like that, or for whatever reason, he was over to the right where his team was falling back in the middle lane. Either there was complete miscommunication there as if he wanted to go in and his team had another decision. I don't know. But something was clearly off there for Too Much Sugar. They were not on the same page, and that just completely turned around. And, well, not even turned around necessarily, but dnL just took advantage of it, and they completely tore tmsR apart. So, dnL Esports taking game number 1, making a big statement there at the end. I mean, again, I understand the concede. I'm not saying it's 100% like they should not have absolutely not conceded, but I feel like that was a complete reaction concede to what just happened in that fight, and something was definitely off. But at the same time, you do look at the end stats. It was clearly in favor of dnL Esports. They were starting to pull ahead. And I also wonder if tmsR kind of thought to themselves, you know, maybe we didn't build as strong as we wanted to with the items and whatnot, and so this game was going to start falling apart. So the more I'm thinking about it, okay, I can understand where they're coming from, but still, dnL Esports, they take game number 1, making a statement there, and they're going to be moving on to game number 2, up 1 game to nothing. So dnL Esports feeling pretty good, I'm sure. After that game, we'll see if Too Much Sugar has fight back in them to force a game 3. By all means, believe they do. But dnL Esports is looking pretty damn good. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take a break as always. We'll be back. Game number 2 just around the corner. Stay tuned.